Welcome to my channel, Bianca Skogan Beauty. I am so glad to have you guys here today. I am excited for today's video because my favorite color is green. Green, green, green everywhere. This video is in preparation for St. Patrick's Day. And I think that it's really funny that I even decorate for St. Patrick's Day because it's like kind of not like a huge holiday, but green is my favorite color. So it is an excuse for me to decorate my house in as much green as is physically possible and have fun with it. So I do. Anyway, so this video will be my top 10-ish. I always say ish. My last video was my top 10 Valentine's Day favorite palettes. This is my top 10 St. Patrick's Day favorite palettes, but I had 2 extras in the last one. And this one I kind of have 2 extras as well. So 12, my top 12 favorite palettes. I have a hard time reining it in. If you have been watching my channel at all, I talk about ad nauseum how much I don't like green eyeshadow. I have a hard time with it. It is a bold color. When I wear a color, I like to go for it. I mean, can you tell? Like, come on. And so with green, I feel like it's hard to not, it's a bold color. Also, I feel like it doesn't contrast with, I have green eyes. And so I like to wear colors that usually contrast with my eyes. So I wear the opposite of green, which is red, but like burgundies and plums and purples and pinks. And anyways, green is not, it's just not something I'm super comfortable with. So you're like, why did you have a hard time reining it in? There's only like 2 or 3 actually like just green palettes in here in this collection. So I guess that's what I'll say, that tracks for me. So this video is not to get like, it's not really a recommendations video, like go buy these green eyeshadow palettes, because not all of these will be available. Some of these are not available to purchase right now. They're out of stock. They're not in production anymore. The point of this video is for you to go through your palette collection. That's something that I like to do, is to go through my collection. This is kind of a video that it's kind of a shop my stash video for the month of March, to be able to pull out my green palettes and get to play with more green during March, because the more that I play with green and the more I practice with it, I find some looks that I like, and then I'm like, oh, I can wear green. There's some that I don't like still. But anyways, I know everybody loves green eyeshadow, and I'm in the minority here. So I'm trying to, like, I'm going to be wearing green eyeshadow for the majority of March to celebrate Green Month, in my opinion. And because I want to try to figure it out. You know what I mean? Figure out green eyeshadow. Anyways, I'm going into the weeds right now, but I want you to see that not all of these are brand new eyeshadow palettes. I don't even think any of them are, actually no, one of them is brand new to me. It came out last Christmas, 2023. If you are inspired by this video to pull out some eyeshadow palettes that you have that are green, and then to celebrate St. Patrick's Day with me and wear green eyeshadow, that is what this video is about, is inspiring you to pull out the green eyeshadow from your collection. Like, I have eyeshadow palettes that have greens in them. Like, I have a lot of eyeshadow palettes that like are rainbow palettes that obviously have a green, but that wasn't going to make this cut. It had to be, I felt like it had to be like almost 50% green to make this cut. I'm thinking most people probably have a palette or 2 that have a green in it. So you can make it work and pull out a green eyeshadow for St. Patrick's Day, or for the whole month of March, like I'm going to be doing. And if you want to see how I got this eyeshadow look, I have a tutorial that I'm going to throw at the end of this video. I'll put some music on and I'll speed it up so you don't have to watch, because I feel like I blended this dark green forever. Dark colors like this get kind of patchy, and I don't know, it took a long time for me to blend it. So if you want to see how I got this eye look, and you want to mimic it, then watch till the end, because I will show you how. So let's start with the palette I'm wearing today. This palette is by Unearthly Cosmetics. It is the Creepy Crawly palette. This palette came in the Unearthly Cosmetics Halloween mystery box. I don't think it wasn't last year's one because I was on a no-buy last year. So it was the year before that. So it was 2022's Unearthly Cosmetics mystery box. This is the palette I'm wearing. I'm wearing all 4 of these colors. This one right here isn't as visible. It's in the middle. But yeah, I'm wearing all 4 of these colors. So I thought it would be the easiest because, as I was saying, I have a hard time with green. So having just the color story here and I didn't have to think too hard, that was why I chose this one. And I thought that there were some really fun colors in there. So that's why I chose that one. The next one, this one I got. This is the Rasha Cosmetics Peridot. I looked it up actually. It can be pronounced Peridot or Peridot based on what part of the world you're in. So my mom told me it was pronounced Peridot, so I've always called it Peridot. Anyways, it is the August birthstone. I'm an August baby, and I got this in, was it Slay Glam Beauty or Ice Cream Beauty? I think it was Slay Glam Beauty box in the month of August. Anyways, this is I'm starting off with my all green palettes, as you can see. This is really a very beautiful palette. So like 2 shimmery shades and like 2 kind of multi-chrome kind of shades and 2 mattes. And it's hard on this one because there isn't like a dark matte. And I like to have like at least like a mid-tone to dark matte to like deepen up the outer corner. But I think that this could still work. That could do fine. Actually, maybe having it not this dark will make it more wearable. A lot of people will say that green is neutral and they'll be like, oh yeah, green tone palette, that's a neutral palette. And I'm like, not for me. Green is a hard color for me. Anyways, another eyeshadow palette that is all green is this one from E.L.F. E.L.F. Cosmetics has this mint melt palette. And this is just really pretty, really simple. I do like mini palettes that have like 4 colors in them because I don't have to think. I know that this is going to go in my outer corner. This is going to be like my transition shade. This is going to go from my outer, like in the middle of my eye, and this is going to be my inner corner, like brightening up shade. It's nice to know like you have everything in this eyeshadow palette that you need. And I think I got this for $4. I don't even know if this is still for sale, but that's not the point of this video. Now we're getting to less green, but still very, very green. This is the Beaute Tropical Vibes palette. Okay, I didn't even purchase this palette. Okay, I don't get PR either. So how did I get this palette? I purchased a whole bunch of Beaute palettes and they accidentally sent me this one. This was supposed to go to someone else and it came in my order and I was like, I'm not going to look a gift horse in the mouth and I'm just going to accept it. So it is, I would say, the majority green, right? The only non-green shades are really, this is kind of a black brown, and this one right here, that's a terracotta. Like, I would even say, I mean, these are in like the green family. Like, this is yellow, like a mustardy yellow, but it's so close to like what the family of greens that we're going with. Anyways, this is a pretty much green palette, you know what I'm saying? This is a green palette. Does this not cry St. Patrick's Day to you? It does to me. So, and also it's got like a gold in here. So you've got like the gold at the end of the rainbow. You know what I mean? Cool. I believe this one is for sale. You can get it at Ace Beaute if you want. If you want, I'm not trying to sell anything. Okay, then I have another one that is fairly green. This is from Menagerie Cosmetics. It is the Whale Song palette. I have to admit that I bought this palette for the packaging. This is a terrible thing. Bianca, why are you doing this? Because look, it has a whale on it and a mermaid. And I always wanted to be a marine biologist because I wanted to work with whales. And I secretly think I'm a mermaid. It didn't work out. I didn't become a marine biologist. I live in a landlocked state. I'm in Utah. It didn't work out. I am kind of a geneticist, so I did go to biology, but not all the way to marine biology. Anyways, this palette is very, very green. As opposed to what you would think because you see the cover and you're like, that's going to be a blue palette. It is kind of, but it's green and blue. Have I ever used this palette? I have to admit I haven't. I don't think I have. No, I haven't. I have swatched it, but I've never used this palette because I am intimidated by it. So guess what? The entire month of March, I'm going to be doing green eyeshadow, and I'm going to use this palette. If not once, twice, or 3 times. I don't even know. I'm going to use this palette because I bought it, I paid my money for it, now we use it. So this is a great palette for St. Patrick's Day. You just got to use it, Bianca. I don't think I mentioned that these are not in like order of like favorites or anything, because they're not. I think they were just really, they're in order from most green to least green-ish. This Natasha Denona Retro Glam palette. Okay. I saw this palette come out and I was like, nah, that's not my style. I'm not going to get that. And I recently purchased it within the last like 2 or 3 months because it was half off. It was half off. These are like $69 palettes, and I got it for what, like $35-ish? Okay. I talk about how I should not buy things just because they're on sale. I talk about that. But I really love the brand Natasha Denona. She makes good eyeshadow. And I actually usually am more of a fan of indie brands for eyeshadow, but Natasha Denona, Natasha Denona makes good eyeshadow palettes. So when this went half off, I was like, okay, great. This is a very good palette for St. Patrick's Day. And I like it because I feel like I have a whole bunch of different tones of green here. Because we have, like, this one is very mint. This one was kind of like lime green. This one that I'm wearing today has everything. It had mint, and it had kind of a forest green, and then it had a, a lime green. Anyways, and this Ace Beaute one has a lot of army kind of greens, like grungy greens. I like because this has like mint and like blue greens. And so I like having, I'm not just stuck to, because I'm going to wear these, I'm going to wear green for March. I don't want to wear emerald green every single day. That will get very monotonous, very boring. So I'm glad that I have a range of green here. It's given a whole bunch of greens. So here we go for some fun greens going on here. Okay, great. This is the palette. It just came in the mail today. And I actually wasn't planning on putting it in this video. And then I looked at it and I was like, look at this. Okay, half green. Okay, let's talk about it first though. This is the DD Signature Jingle Bell Ruby palette. Okay, so hear me out. This is a Christmas palette, okay? But I said this in my Valentine's Day palette rank. It wasn't really a ranking, but showing you what Valentine's Day palettes I had. Can you wear makeup any time of the year you want? Yes. I had a Halloween palette in that Valentine's Day palette. Why do I want to say ranking? Collection. So can I have a Christmas palette in the St. Patrick's Day collection of palettes? Yeah, I can, because you know what? Actually, none of these palettes are actually St. Patrick's Day palettes. Do those exist? If they do, I don't have one. I've never seen one. Anyways, so yes, I think you can. I don't want to be pigeonholing myself that I can only wear this Christmas palette during Christmas time. That's lame. So you can wear any color any time of the year. You can wear green, not just in March. You can wear green all year round. I just like holidays and seasons, and so I like to kind of plan around the seasons. That's just me. You can do whatever you want. What makes you happy? And the holidays make me happy, so that's why I'm doing this. Anyway, so cool. This is DD Signature. This is a really, really awesome indie brand that I just really discovered recently and just in love with. I think they're awesome. They kind of have like fruit themes for their palettes. And this one, I think like ruby, isn't that like I don't know if that's a fruit. Like ruby snap? Anyways, but most of their palettes are very fruit themed. So this one came out for a Christmas time, and it is half green. Look at that. Half St. Patrick's Day. So I'm going to use that for St. Patrick's Day. Really excited about it. Yay! This palette is the Oden's Eye Hella palette. It is with Oden's Eye and Angelica Nyquist. And I mentioned this palette during my Valentine's Day palette because I mentioned that this was a like a like a hybrid palette. That this palette was a really good palette for both Valentine's Day and St. Patrick's Day. And actually, I realized during that video that it actually kind of is January, February, and March, which is even cooler in my opinion. But anywho, it is a little bit more than half because this one's kind of green too. So it is more than half green. Anyways, now I have pink on me. That's great. This is a really great St. Patrick's Day palette. And here are some more of those grungy greens, but with more of a yellow to it. I like a bright yellow. And I like that because this will make a really good like inner corner shades. And this is a very pretty inner corner shade as well. So very pretty. Like that a lot. Like it a lot. Okay. So then we have this one by Simply Posh Cosmetics. My husband bought this palette for me last year while I was on my no buy. And I've used it once. Yes, I've used it once. And it's another case of half green. Okay, so this row is kind of blue-green and maybe greenish, bluish green, and then yellow-green. But I like it. I'm so excited. Half green. If you look at it all together, I don't feel like it. I feel like it screams spring. Okay, it's a very like springtime, like pastels. I don't know, flowers. Fairy tale fairies. Okay, it's a very spring palette, but March is spring, so boom, yay! I love it. So excited. Okay, so the last one of my 10 palettes is, I think, the least green out of all of them. So that's why it is the last one out of my 10. This one is from Nomad Cosmetics. It is the Monte Verde Cloud Forest palette. And it is kind of a fun design because it's supposed to be like a forest, like a rainforest. And so you have the trees, and then peeking out from the trees are like the flowers and the animals, like the bright colored birds and the bright colored animals and the bright colored flowers are peeking out in between the green of the forest. So I really like that. So this one to me doesn't quite like scream St. Patrick's Day, but I feel like it has a lot of green. And the theme of it is a forest. So I feel like green. It can work for St. Patrick's Day. Yay! So pretty. My 2 honorable mentions. Why are they honorable mentions? Because I feel like this could be an honorable mention as well. I don't know. It works in my head. Urban Decay. This is from Urban Decay. It is the Wild Greens palette. So you should. I was like, this will 100% be in my top 10 or my 10 palettes because I was like, it's called the Wild Greens palette. The palette is green, right? But then you open it up and it is not even half green. Not at all. Like this entire bottom row is red pink. And then we have more red pink over here. So yeah, that's all that's green. And they're not even very pigmented green. They are very, very, very pastel greens. This is the one that is the darkest and it's a shimmer. So it does remind me of St. Patrick's Day because it is the Wild Greens palette. And it does have a lot of greens, but it is not the majority greens. So it's an honorable mention. Last honorable mention is this from Onsai. It is the Onsai and Makeup Just for Fun, and it is the Flora Story palette. This one is it's less than half green, but it also I didn't want to have 2 of the same brand, and I felt like the Angelica Nikos Hella palette was more green and should have been in my top 10, where this one is a little bit less green, and I didn't want to have 2 Onsai palettes in like the top 10. I don't know why, I just didn't. This palette, so pretty. And in real life, and in all life, I guess, aside from eyeshadow, green and purple are my favorite colors. I love green and purple. Like in my closet, my clothes, mostly green and purple. I love green and purple. They are very aesthetically pleasing to my eyes. I just really like green and purple. For the life of me, I have a hard time wearing green on my eyes. I could talk about it for hours and hours, but nobody wants to hear that. So I like this palette because it's half purple, which is very easy for me to use and which I love, and half green, which I do like to look at. I just have a hard time with it, but I feel like they're really nice purples to use. They're very soft and pretty. Did I say purples? Greens. Very soft and pretty greens. And we have a nice inner quarter shade. So it's a really pretty palette, really nice. And I think these are still on sale at Odin's Eye. It is a collab, so I know that when they run out of them, they do, like, they don't sell them again. But anyways, those are my top 12 St. Patrick's Day palettes. Okay, so this is the eyeshadow look. Why don't you check your collection and see if you have any palettes that have any green in them so that you can, I don't know, wear a couple of eyeshadows that are green this month. It'll be fun. Yay! All right, well, if you like this video, and if you want to see more videos by me, subscribe to my channel. And if you want to be notified of my videos, push the bell. And most importantly, be nice to yourself because you are amazing. Have a great day. Bye.